Hello everyone, Insane Frame here and welcome to another video. In the last video we did Can You Beat New Vegas with a Battle Rifle. It was very good, I can highly recommend trying it out, but that's not why we're here today, ladies and gentlemen, because today is the day we ask a very requested run, which is can you beat ball out ball with a laser musket? Now the laser musket is a very interesting weapon to say the least, as the weapon itself can be cranked, and the maximum times you can crank it is up to 6 times for 6 times the damage at the cost of 6 times the reload speed. But the downside is it also consumes more ammo with each crank as well, so it'll be a very unorthodox run for sure, but with our high base damage and high reload speed we'll have to make every shot count and make sure we keep an eye on our ammo. As for obtaining the weapon, it's actually very simple as it's available almost from the very start of the game, which is great. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's quickly go over the rules. We may only use the laser musket in battle, no glitch or exploits, no cheating or modding, and we're going to be playing on very hard difficulty. So with that, let's go on with the game. We start the game off in Frankenstein's bathroom. We decide to go for a gentleman look today. Well, tech call, and we dish out our starting stats with 4 strength, 1 perception, 4 endurance, 1 charisma, 10 intelligence, 4 agility and 4 luck. So a very well-rounded build focused on XP gains. We also name ourselves Mr. Quartermain and get to the vault as the world explodes. We get frozen and then released, and then we lock out the rad roaches and acquire a Pip-Boy, allowing us to get out of the vault. We climb out of the vault to see the world after the bombs dropped, which is cool, and our first objective is to get a laser musket, which is thankfully very easy, because all we have to do is travel down to Concord and we see one lying outside the Museum of Freedom. So once we get the laser musket, we start blasting the raiders away, which isn't too difficult, and we also level up from the process, and we decide to give ourselves +1 perception, so we're all good. The Museum of Freedom is actually really easy, as the laser musket pretty much cuts through the raiders, no problem. And we go to Preston and we walk straight past him to pick up the perception bobblehead, upping our perception to a total of 3. We go to Trudy's and kill Simone and then finish Wolfgang with no issues. We speak to Trudy and we gain another level up. We decide to go for Rifleman, upping our damage by 20%, which is very good, especially at this stage of the game. We journey out to Bunker Hill to try and find some ammo, but we come up short, which is unfortunate to say the least. So we decide to hoof it to Diamond City, we get Exploration XP and level up. So we decide to go for Science Rank 1, allowing us to upgrade our laser musket. We also stop on over at the Boston Library so we can snatch up the intelligence bobblehead, which raises our intelligence to 11, which is absolutely fantastic as it'll increase our XP gains over time. We see Piper outside Diamond City doing what Piper normally does and complains to the intercom. We play along to her scheme and she gets the gate open, which is great. We head on inside and can now fast travel there any time when we need to. So we decide to go to the Brotherhood of Steel at the Cambridge police station, as they seem to be a good port of call for us. So when we get there, many ghouls are charging into Paladin Dance, so we take as many pop shots at the oncoming ghouls as possible. And then afterwards we speak to Paladin Dance and he allows us to accompany him to ArcJet System. So we gather all the supplies we can from the Cambridge police station, mainly for some ammo, which is kind of scarce for us at this point. But on the plus side, we do level up and we decide to get Scrounger Rank 1, so we find more ammo and containers. A excellent perk for us, increasing our ammo and cap gains for us over time. Once we get to ArcJet Systems, we walk on through and see our first simps. We do what we can to take them down, which wasn't too bad, but we acquire lots of ammo from them. We also find a Tesla magazine, getting +5 critical chance with energy weapons, which is a brilliant find. Once we get to the main engine room, we restore power from a terminal and we watch Dance fight the Sims. We let Dance fight for about 5 minutes and then we torch everything in the room thanks to the engine, which is quite the display indeed. But once we enter the room, our ammo troubles are over as we loot everything we can and get a ludicrous amount of ammunition. We go to the lift and we find more Simps and we assimilate them and find the deep range transmitter, completing our mission. Once outside, Dance says the mission was sloppy but a success and gives us the righteous authority, an offer we simply can't refuse, which is an invitation to the Brotherhood of Steel, so we accept it. Since we have the science perk, we go ahead and upgrade our laser musket in Diamond City, so we can now get 4 cranks out of it and just have general improvements across the board, which is excellent. We also have not 1 but 2 level ups, so we go for armor rank 1 so we can upgrade our armor if necessary, and we also go for Scrounger rank 2, allowing us to get even more ammo out of containers, which is extremely useful. With all of our improvements, we decide to go to the Triggermen hideout as it's about that time where we have to get Nick Valentine. The Triggermen are sniped down with our laser musket, getting 1 shot 1 kills no problem, which is delightful as nothing says hello like a laser beam to the face. We kill more of the Triggermen, which is excellent, and then we spot Dino and we turn him into a pile of ash. Nick Valentine is springed free and we hire him to help us locate our son for setting him free. A fair trade all in all. More Triggermen are killed with our laser musket, it's simply excellent, and Skinny Malone is next. But we one-shot him and all is well, and 2-shot Darla, which is hilarious, so we clean up the last of the Triggermen, and once everything is sorted, we get a level up. We go ahead and get Bloody Mess, which improves our damage by 5%, which is absolutely fantastic. Nick Valentine speaks with us outside and he invites us to his office in Diamond City called Valentine's Detective Agency, so we immediately make our way there and we have a seat to tell the parties involved about our case. Kellogg Cornflakes is mentioned as Nick asks, was the suspect bold and scarred? Ellie confirms it, so we go to the mayor of Diamond City and pickpocket Kellogg's house keys from him, allowing us access to Kellogg's house. Once we make our way in, we go under the desk and find a secret switch to open up a false wall. We see many lovely things dotted about, but we discuss the findings with Nick and he decides to get a specialist. So he whistles for some assistance and we see the amazing Dogmeat. We let Dogmeat sniff the cigar to track Kellogg and then we just head straight to ArcJet Systems and we walk on over from there to Fort Hagen. Once we get to Fort Hagen, we take out the turrets and we begin destroying the simps with mostly 1-shot 1 kills. We even use a hole in the wall to destroy the simp leader and we keep pressing forwards and even level up, so we get Rifleman rank 2, upping our damage by 14%, and we now ignore 15% of our target's armour. Needless to say, the simps are absolute mincemeat as we keep sniping with a laser and they can't really do anything against us. We raid the Fort Hagen armory and make our way to Kellogg Cornflakes. This Kellogg fight is kind of one-sided as Kellogg is 2-shotted and it's easily the most simple Kellogg fight to date, which is just laughable, and his simps are both 1-shotted, making this hardly a fair fight at all. So much so I had to check the ash just to be sure, and it certainly is the remains of Kellogg. We check Kellogg's terminal and sure enough the sack of human manure has been taken by the Institute for reasons. The Brotherhood of Steel sharp, so everything is now okay. We go back to the police station to say hello to Dance and he states that the pair of us have been summoned on the Pridwin and he personally has put in a request for us to be promoted to the rank of knight. So we go to the roof and go ahead and board a vertibird and travel to the Pridwin. After a short flight, we dock in and we meet Captain Kells, who states he inspects all the new recruits and that we are not quite what we had in mind. Anyway, we walk in on a speech performed by Elder Maxon and afterwards he exchanges words with us and we are promoted to the rank of knight. Afterwards, we go and meet the Pridwin crew and first up is Prospector Ingram, who is awesome. We then meet QM Tegan, who is also very helpful, but we see the most precious member of the Brotherhood, which is this Killy. We decide to name the Killy Miles as he's adorable. Anyway, we speak to Quinlan, who is a true gentleman, and lastly, Knight Captain Cade gives us a thorough medical examination, so we are signed off, ready for active duty. Elder Maxon is outside and tasks us with taking out Fort Strong, which has a heavy mutant presence. So we need to get on a vertibird, but unfortunately we can't do that as it goes against the rules. We decide to go about it on foot and we have 2 level ups to dish out, so we go for Bloody Mess rank 2, so we do 10% more damage in battle, which is very good. And our second level up we go for Medic, so we restore 40% of lost health with our stim packs and Radaway removes 40% of our radiation. A simple yet very useful perk indeed. Once at 4 strong we manage to gun down a few mutants in our initial volley with a few well placed shots. We then decide to fall back and get to a safe distance so we have more time to shoot more mutants. We land as many shots as we can, thinning the numbers greatly. A legendary mutant is also among their number, so we put a few well placed shots and bats to his skull, ending him rightly. We do get a decent metal chest piece, gaining us +1 intelligence and charisma, a very useful find. We have a super mutant behemoth though that we have to deal with, and we deal many high damage shots and get to cover to save us being damaged by thrown boulders. But we get a few more shots in, putting the Gargant down. That was pretty stressful, but it was also really cool. Inside there's many mutants and it takes many attempts as there is a legendary mutant with an automatic weapon in close quarters, but we take out the stragglers and for the main threat we repeatedly shoot it and give it the run round until we get that shot to end the fight, which is a huge sigh of relief. We take care of a couple more mutants and get the fort key in the office as well as a cover of covert ops, which you really don't need, but we'll take it anyway. Once down the lift, we get into the basement and it's a bit more sniping at the enemy, and we time our shots perfectly, and the mutants are dealt with in satisfying fashion, including one with a missile launcher. Paladin Dance comes down to check our work and is extremely impressed with us, so we get his approval. We exit the Slaughterfest and report back to Elder Maxon, who gives us some signal grenades, but he orders us to locate and gain entry into the Institute, so we accept our orders and off we go. Go to Diamond City and meet up with Nick and Piper at Valentine's detective agency. Nick doesn't really have a way into the Institute and Piper doesn't really know anything either. But Nick thinks of an idea to go to the memory den with Kellogg Cornflakes Cybernetics to maybe find something out. So we go to Good Neighbor and we go to the memory den and meet Dr. Amari. Apparently we have a hippocampus, so Nick has it integrated in his hardware somehow, and we sit in the chair awaiting the memory sequence. Once inside the memory sequence, we manage to locate the memory we need and find out about Brian Virgil, a former Institute scientist who's hiding away from everyone in the Glowing Sea. We speak to Dr. Amari and she gives us the all clear. We say farewell to Nick and we level up. We decide to go for Nerd Rage, so when our health drops below 20%, we get plus 20 damage resistance and do 20% more damage, and time slows down for us as well, so a very powerful perk for us as a automatic panic button, letting us become an absolute wrecking ball. We travel to Fort Hagen and head south to eventually get to the Glowing Sea, a irradiated wasteland of terror filled with the worst of the worst. We get many ghouls and we have to take them out, so we systematically do so, but we walk past the crater and straight to Virgil's cave where Deathclaw is located. We begin shooting at the Deathclaw from a distance and then we close in and forego any rad away so the rads can climb up. We then eventually activate Nerd Rage, allowing us to deal far more damage and put the Deathclaw down for good, as it has a really cool death turned into ash, which is lovely. We have a level up and decide to go for armor rank 2 so we can upgrade our armor, which is excellent. We eventually make it to Virgil's cave and we meet Virgil himself. We ask him how to get inside the Institute and Virgil questions our sanity, but he says that we need to go and kill a Corsair. So we're pointed in the direction of Green Tech Genetics, and once there it's overrun with gunners. We get lots of enemies that get melted by our laser musket, and we manage to litter Green Tech Genetics with many gunner bodies. We have plenty of headshots and Nerd Rage procs off, giving us time for many more headshots and helping us out massively. We level up and go for a simple +1 perception, which is very straightforward but very effective. After a few more gunners get lasers to the face, we get to the lift and go and meet the Corsair. We get a cheeky little sneak attack off and we get shot at a few times, so Nerd Rage procs once again. We get 2 headshots off on the Corsair, killing him outright whilst trying not to die with our low health. We loot the Corsair chip from his corpse and now have to go ahead and get it decoded. So we travel to the Old North Church and go to the basement to take out some of the creepy crawlies there. We input the secret code on a dial on the wall, which is Railroad. We then begin a rather abrupt meeting with Desdemona and crew and tell them we have a Corsair chip. They say that they can decode it for us, so we gain access to their HQ. Tom kindly decodes the chip for us, getting the code required. However, the Railroad are also a danger to the Brotherhood of Steel, so we decide to use our own tactics against them since we've infiltrated them already, and we decide that we're going to get many shots off on all of their personnel. Unfortunately, Glory shows up with a minigun, so we shoot her many times. We have a very close call with her, but we put her down for good. We begin binning their numbers of taking out the Railroad commanders and all personnel at the HQ. However, we do leave Pan alive as she does not aggressively act hostile to us, so she gets to be spared. We take our leave and exit and level up, so we decide to go for +1 agility, making a total of 5 agility. We also go back to Sanctuary Hills and use the special book, don't worry I didn't forget about this, and we add another point of agility, making a total of 6 agility. Anyway, we return to Virgil and get what we need from him to build the teleporter, which is most excellent. We return aboard the Pridwin and report to Elder Maxim with our findings. He assigns Ingram to help us out. Ingram grants us some resources, however we go to a junkyard and detonate a sentry bot to get the rest of the parts we need. Once the teleporter is up and running, Elder Maxim comes to give us our objective, which is to find and recruit Dr. Madison Lee. Once we teleport into the Institute, we use the network scanner as per Ingram's request, and a certain fellow introduces himself via intercom. We see the Institute for the first time as we descend the lift and we meet Father. He's pretty much our doppelganger, and Todd forces our hand with some very bad dialogue. It's off to Bioscience, which is Virgil's former division, and we gain access to the old lab. On initial first impressions, it's just a few lousy turrets that we have to deal with that are one-shotted, but we have a touch of trouble with an Assaultron, but a few blasts on its arms and being chased around and we're fine. After that encounter, we get through a few more doors and a few more turrets, and then Virgil's former office is in front of us. We grab the serum, which is all well and good, and we also grab the audio log nearby, as we're definitely going to need it. We go straight to Advanced Systems to find Dr. Lee. She is resilient to return to the Brotherhood, so we give her Brian Virgil's audio log, revealing the Institute's true intentions, winning over Dr. Lee to return to the Brotherhood of Steel, meaning we've accomplished our mission. We quickly meet the division heads and then get out of Dodge as quickly as possible. We level up from the experience and go for +1 agility, making a total of 7 agility. Very nice. We hand over Ingram's holotape with the network scanner on. Elder Maxon states that Dr. Lee is being processed and we level up thanks to completing our mission. So we go for a stat increase and we get +1 agility, setting us up for the next few level ups. Ingram then gives us a tour of what remains of Liberty Prime, then we convince Dr. Madsen Lee to work her magic on Liberty Prime. Soon enough, Ingram and Lee are working together in tandem with each other, and as the third wheel we are sent to begin building some actuators. We're going to need some high-powered magnets, so make a stop to one of the hospitals to get what's required, blast through many robots with lasers, which is a lot of fun. However, getting electrocuted in the face is not so fun, but we shoot them down no problem and get what we came for, so everything worked out. At the airport, we build the actuators no problem, one for each of Prime's limbs, and deliver them to the 2 technicians. We speak to Ingram once more and she wants us to get some nuclear warheads for Liberty Prime, which is quite a tall order, but we meet with Scribe Halen, and after some pleasantries, Scribe Halen gives us a distress pulsar. We go to the glowing sea and see a large Necron monolith structure / techno pyramid and head on inside. We face quite a few ghouls and we get a heck of a lot of kills as we gun them down. One of the ghouls had a never-ending hunting rifle, a very useful find, but unfortunately we can't use it as per the rules. We go through more tunnels and get more kills, and we even manage to get to the end and sneak attack Henry. As for the Assaultron, we hammer away at its leg until we run for our lives, and we keep shooting it until it's a wreckage. We access Henry's terminal to gain access to the warehouse filled with nukes. So we place the distress beacon and call for the lift, and a glowing one is spotted and we give it the run round and continuously shoot it until it is defeated. We go up the lift to get the hell out of this place. We return to the airport. Lee and Ingram allow us to press the button to power up Prime. Ingram expresses her thanks and we level up. We get the perk Quick Hands, allowing us to reload faster, meaning we can crank the laser musket very quickly now. However, Elder Maxon summons us and has found out that Paladin Dance is indeed a synth and outright accused us of aiding him. However, we argue that Dance might not be aware of the news, and Elder Maxon orders us to execute him and offers us a promotion if we do. We go to the most important member of the Brotherhood of Steel, which is Miles the Killy, and pet him before speaking to Quinlan about the information we've received about Dance, but not before Scribe Halen rudely forgets her manners, not only in front of the kitty, but Quinlan and a superior officer. How dare she? So we talk to her below the main deck and she foolishly tells us of Dance's location so we can fulfill our orders to the letter. Since she interrupted us, we won't even hear him out, so we travel to Outpost Bravo, defeat the turrets no problem, we take the lift down, kill a few more robots, and we make sure to take Dance out without hearing him out and turn him into glowing ash. Elder Max has made light of the situation and he's impressed with our work, which results in us getting promoted to Paladin, and all of Dance's belongings are now ours for the taking. We immediately get to our next mission, however, which is from Captain Kells. A new threat has apparently surfaced, and the railroad are supposedly a danger, but Ingram has a side mission which is to retrieve Pam. Since our early work has already been done in this mission, it is that much easier, so we head on back to the North Church and have some agents of the railroad which we blast relentlessly with some fire support. We make sure they stay down without any doubts, and we go to the church basement and easily take out the railroad agents who are still fighting despite having no available commanders. We make sure they can't do anything about it, and we get to the railroad HQ and we get to Pam's terminal and reprogram her to go aboard the Pridwin, making our earlier efforts pay off big time. Captain Kells is impressed with our completion of the mission and we level up. We decide to go for Rifleman rank 3, so our damage is increased by 60%, and we also ignore 20% of the target's armour. Very, very nice. We speak to Ingram and she wishes to obtain a power source for Liberty Prime, but we have to board a vertibird, so we get a prompt that the Institute will send a very strongly worded letter against us and be our enemies. So we do the unthinkable and go ahead anyway, so the Institute are now our enemies. However, we can't just use the minigun aboard the vertibird as it would be against the rules, so we circle the mass fusion building and eventually we have to be dropped out. So we bail out of the vertibird, we take some fall damage and then we run amok and start going on the attack against the simps. We do substantial damage to them and then we manage to get access to the lift and begin descending. Many simps spawn and we decide to start taking them out one by one. However, the lift also gets sabotaged, so we begin taking out even more Institute forces until they stop spawning. We then get the lift working and then we continue on down until we reach the plaza. We then go down a second lift and we activate 2 Protectrons, and then we don a hazmat suit to get to the reactor without taking any radiation damage. Make sure to grab the beryllium agitator and we set off the security, and the Protectrons turn on us and a sentry bot is also deployed, so we use Ingram as a shield and keep shooting the Securitron until it explodes. So we then get to a Assaultron ship and once again Ingram is used as a useful distraction to the enemy. We make the Assaultrons wish they were in a trash compactor as they turn into scrap metal, which is hilarious thanks to our laser musket. We get to the plaza and we help our soldiers out in killing the rest of the Institute forces for some loose XP. We then get back to base and we approach Ingram and she says a job well done and gives us the honour of installing the power source into Prime. We go up the lift and pop the power source in and press the big red button, getting Liberty Prime online almost immediately. We level up in the process and we decide to go for Medic Rank 2, which lets us heal 60% of our health per impact, and Radaway now removes 60% of radiation, which is very useful. Anyway, we follow Liberty Prime, who leaves a trail of destruction and even one-shots a super mutant behemoth, which is really cool. We eventually make our way to the CIT ruins. We concentrate on shooting simps, but we see lasers on the ground and Liberty Prime makes a hole whilst we blast away at simps. We see the hole and we jump on in head first. Elder Maxon hands us a pulse charge and we know what has to happen, so we get to it. We also get another level up, so we go with +1 endurance to get more health under our belt. The initial forces are no match for us and no challenge at all, and we plink away at the turrets and they are taken out of action. We heal up and even jump over the railing and bolt on through to the hatch to get away. Bioscience is next, and it's not even a fair fight as we just take out a couple of turrets and we watch the gorillas get gunned down like Swiss cheese, which is a pretty hilarious sight. The main hub is even easier as we just start sniping and let the main Brotherhood force do the heavy lifting, so we can just focus on damaging the enemy units, making it easier for the mass laser fire the main force like the wrecking ball of laser death that they are. We get to the lift and pay a visit to the Sacramento and we try to make him see reason, but he is too far gone. So we shoot him with a laser to the face. We use the terminal to override the lockdown and we go to advanced systems and take out more forces. We then use the upper windows to take out the main personnel around the reactor, so we can just stroll in and place the pulse charge no problem. We then get teleported to the main entrance and the child simp then tries to manipulate us into taking it with us. We can't have them running around the Brotherhood of Steel, so we tell Ingram to knock up the teleporter and we get teleported out, pressing the detonator, ending the run, answering the question, can you beat Fallout 4 with a laser musket? And yes, you certainly can. It's a heck of a lot of fun. Okay, that run was very surprising, as I thought the musket would have more limitations on it, but being able to get the musket nice and early, as well as basing the Institute to gain ammo, was definitely refreshing, as we didn't really have to worry about the ammo once we had it. Once we picked up enough, this weapon definitely was the headshot champ, and it just really showed when Nerd Rage activated as slowing down time and getting a damage boost on top of that. Really cool. Just made this thing an absolute beast to do a run with. Really surprised me. Really cool weapon. Anyway, for the next video, we'll be doing Fallout 4 as a Trigger Man, so we'll have no armor and a weapon that eats ammo. So it'll be very interesting, definitely more of a cautious playthrough for sure. So with that, thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic day, an incredible time, and I hope you're all well and everything is going great for you. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Take care, you wonderful people. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, have a good one. This is Insane Frame, signing off. Ladies, everyone.